Hey folks, my name is Spoiler Kid. I've been a higher end Mythic Plus player for a while. I like doing these voiceovers to try and help out and show some Resto gameplay in these skis. If you enjoy this or want to see more of this, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Obviously helps a ton, and the more interest there is in these videos, the more I'm willing to make. Now, before we get into this run, there is a note I wanted to make on Resto Shaman and what we can do to help compete with Disc Priest. Specifically, their shields prevent a lot of the incoming damage. Resto unfortunately doesn't have this in our kit, but what we do have at our disposal is our direct heals giving an extra 10% health, and then Downpour also giving another extra 10% health. It may not be a 7 million shield on a 6-second cooldown, but it is an extra couple of mil that can really help stretch out our healing, keep people from getting one-shot, and is one of the main ways that we can keep up in these dungeons. Resto is also very good in melee comps. The more people stacked in that downpour, the better. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to get right into this 15 Darkflame Cleft. This dungeon I think is one of the easier on the difficulty list. There are a couple dicey trash pulls and third boss is rough now with the changes, but it's definitely doable and just requires your team to be a little bit more coordinated, a little bit better with their defensives. Alright, so heading into our first pull, we Rin Rush, and then our tank CCs one of the Royal Wick Lighters, which they break in a few seconds just to offset the timing of the dot. We're going to look to dispel those dots that come out as soon as possible, and then the only other damage really is the AoE from the Overseer. I actually misplay here. You can see our mage gets aggro and almost dies. I think 9 times out of 10, if a DPS gets aggro and you see it, you need to link insta. I'm working on getting better reaction on that myself, but luckily our mage friend is able to live through it. Thunderstorm gives us a moment of breathing room, and then we're just slowly chaining this pack in to the other wick lighter that we left CC'd. We're just going to kick that as we are heading over. Just clearing up this last pack. And then our next pull is going to be Double Overseer, which are going to be casting the AoE Roar. Sorry about my cats in the background going bonkers. The AoE Roar can be LOS or healed through, whichever is fine, as long as your team is topped, is really not too dangerous. As this pull slowly dies, just wanted to give a couple small pointers that might help you out. I just popped a potion. As Resto, just keeping your potion on cooldown can really help alleviate some of the mana issues we have. Master of the Elements Giga Puffs our next healing surge. It can get up to 2 stacks and last 30 seconds. So even though there are pulls that are good to spam chain lightning in, I still like to try to lava burst and single target so I can get and hold on to those stacks for when you need that fat surge. Your utility is just as important as your throughput. I'm always looking for a kick, a stun, a knock, wind rush, anything I can do, and getting used to hitting these buttons will help you immensely. Now, on that same vein, Wind Rush just came off cooldown, so I'm going to throw it down so we can all get in position to this next fight quicker. And as we're running over, I'm going to look to get kicks to help group this up quickly. You'll see on this Royal Wick Lighter here, I kick that over. This is very similar to the first pull, where we will have dispels we need to get instantly, as well as some AoE damage going out that we'll need to heal up. Our mage friend actually gets a pretty nasty overlap here with the rock and the AoE, and this time I'm much quicker to hit the link and save him. We also get an ascend proc, and as a cherry on top, the dispel goes on me, and I'm able to instantly dwarf it off, so we're pretty safe here. Our tank decides he wants to group these up a little bit better, so we run back to our pillar here, and then I'm going to actually hit the ascend with Spirit Walkers. Figured might as well safe than sorry, just might as well commit the cooldown. We're going to knock into a cap totem here, just to give us some breathing room on the casts, on the throws, just make sure that we're safe. As a side note here, you can run Earth Grab Totem for this knock that the Overseer does, and it will keep the ads stuck in melee rather than them flying out. But I actually didn't know about this tech before I went into this key, so just something that might help you with your future runs here.
Alright, finishing up this pack, and then we're going to be trucking along. As we head to the first boss, we're going to imprison prison, this patrol. You'll see our Demon Hunter hits that right here, and then run past. I am going to sneak in a little drink right before we get into the boss, and as a note, I do have a weak aura for that. It's a little hard sometimes in Ghost Wolf to be able to tell if you're drinking or not. You can see a little water icon in the middle there. Now, for this boss, pretty straightforward. The minecart that comes out that's neutral has to be killed and focused as soon as possible. Someone will get fixated with the ads. You see a mage here gets fixated, and they need to be pretty much spam healed. They take damage over time, and the ads are also fisting them. Feel free to help CC, slow, knock, stun, anything like that. And then this charge just needs to be put into the wall. You'll see our friend does that perfectly here. And you'll also see that I'm going to spam ping this cart when it comes out. We may or may not have had a wipe to the cart dying the first time we came into this heat. So, yeah, just wanted to make sure. Spam healing our DK here, just making sure he's alright. And boss will slowly die. I'll come back with you guys once the boss is dead. Alright, I'm coming back because this is actually kind of a fiesta going on here. Mage is getting pumped. We actually end up dropping the link. Same as before, don't be afraid to commit the cooldowns. You might need it. And then this guy fucking whiffs the charge. In 15! Well, whatever. Oh, well, boss will die here soon. I'll be back. Alright, and I guess I'm back here. Just wanted to highlight, I get the fixate here actually, so you're going to see I drop the Earthbind. I also drop my defensives. I take pretty much no damage. Boss is about to die here, so just wanted to play it safe. Alright, and boss dies. My Windrush does come off cooldown right here, so we're going to drop it, just get everyone quick. And then these pulls coming up are quite scary. You have these wandering candles with all of the little ads as well, but you can LOS pretty much all of these abilities. That being said, we don't. We just go in. We're just here trucking and f***ing, baby. Hell yeah. So yeah, we're going to be committing the Ascend here on this pack right now, and then I do also Nature's Swiftness, a chain heal. I do want to make a note on that. I think that's a huge way for us to save mana in these runs, is just simply that, just a Nature's Swiftness chain heal. A lot of people use it for healing surges, just for the quick, but I think the chain heal is a lot more mana efficient to use that on. This next AoE here, we're going to, I believe we commit the the Tide, Healing Tide Totem just to top everyone up here. And yeah, just finishing up this pack. That does take all of our cooldowns. We're kind of light for this next pull going in, but we do have the link coming up in a little bit, and our comp isn't too bad for this. We do have Sigil of Silence, try to help group these up. So you'll see we're just slowly finishing off this pack. It does take a little bit just for these little guys to die here. And our DH tank is going to move into the room. You're going to see he's got some fancy feet. This man likes to hop. So he's going to jump across. I do target the one that he kind of gets far out just because I figure it might need a kick in. Side note, Arcane Missiles, so cool looking. Alright, and here is where it starts to become a fiesta. So, this is a PUG, we have no communication, so we're kind of just all slinging our CC. The Sigil of Silence comes out, and the next time these casts come around, I'm terrified. I'm pretty sure that was going to go off. I dropped the link, and then we stop again, and oh, just for that last second of link, we're able to keep that DR up and the link up for the casts. Very scary, and I say we got LOS. Like, this is me saying, like, oh, we're gonna die. And we have our first death. Our DK actually just stood in the circle. And that is actually our only death for this entire run, which is kind of pretty impressive. So we do miss this cast here as well, and we all miss the LOS, but because the candle is dead and we didn't get that many stacks, we are fine. Definitely a little bit of a misplay on this pack, but this is one of the harder packs in this dungeon for sure. I think if we had pulled it back to these candles initially so that we could LOS from the start, it would have been a lot better. We're going to res our DK here and then get a drink, and then I didn't know this, and I don't think it's the best play, but we end up committing the Lust on this boss. Usually you would hold it for Candle King. This is Candle King after the change with the Healing Absorb, but before they nerfed it, so this is pretty much the hardest version of Candle King. But we do end up committing the Lust on this boss when it comes up here. Just wanted to make a note of that. Now for this boss, you'll see these candle mechanics. You do want to light as many of these as possible with the fire that just goes out. We're going to group up, dodge this frontal, and then we are going to douse one of the candles. Now if your group douses more than one candle, you're going to be taking more damage from the AoE that comes out, so that's something you just want to be aware of. You do need to douse at least one candle for this mechanic. This is what gives you the safe spot. And then in this key level, the AoE ability does not one-shot you. However, if it did, or if I thought that there was danger of it, what I would be looking to do is to Riptide and Downpour probably the mage before it went off every time. He definitely is the squishiest target out of all of these. But again, thankfully in this key level, it does not one-shot, so we don't have to worry about that. We can just top people up as it comes out. And yeah, boss is very straightforward. You're just doing the same thing over and over. It's just a dance. So we're going to douse our candle here. And back on the boss. Alright, I'll touch base with you guys after the boss, because again, it's very straightforward and nothing really happens here. Boss is about to die here. I do end up pushing my Tide right here just to basically do damage, push the dam as much as I can. I don't really want to sit here and be healing all the time. Now with this boss about to die, I see that we're, basically going to be running. I drop the Wind Rush and we'll make sure that we get to this next pack quicker. Now this pack is handled a little bit sloppy. It's a tough pack to get grouped. They're all casters, but we do okay. What I do in this pack is I see the pull and I look for which ones are going to be either annoying or ones that I think their casts are going to go off, and that's who I'll target for kicks. Our Hunter catches a Firebolt there, but we're fine, and I think our DK might catch an auto here maybe, but all in all is fine. We CC okay, and we're able to just clear this pack up quickly. And generally you would skip this pack coming up, but this group, big balls on this group. So we're just running in and saying, frick it, going in. This pull is not too bad, honestly. It just takes up a bit of time. It's not super percent efficient. The biggest, scariest thing is going to be that knockback generally. Just does quite a bit of damage, and then Soot Snoot just needs to be kicked on his Flaming Tether cast, or you can dispel it as well. Now while we kill this pack, oh so slowly, I want to discuss the mechanics of Candle King. That way during the boss, I can focus more on explaining my actions and thought process. So this is the Candle King post-change, but pre-nerf. So it is the hardest version there was. I actually failed another run earlier because I didn't manage my cooldowns well enough and just couldn't heal through the rot. Candle King will spawn some molds around each player that pulse AoE damage. One person will get targeted with a dagger that you need to throw through a mold. Usually you want to choose one that's either far away or already in a puddle. And then 3 players get targeted with a purple circle that clears the molds in it, and they get a fat healing absorb as well. Generally, you want to ask your range to stack with the melee, and everyone move as a group as the molds spawn relative to your position. Being closer means that the molds will also be closer, and then you will also be able to downpour and have healing rain being as effective as possible. This fight can very quickly snowball out of hand. You need to be on top of the mechanics here.
Especially in this case where we still don't have lust. We actually lusted again that last boss, so we're definitely a little scared coming into this, but again, good cooldown management and smart play, we can definitely get through this. Now as we get up to start this boss, I want to talk about a few things. I'm going to drink Surging Totem and then drink again. That way I'm topped 100% mana and I have the Surging Totem already out. That way we can just pretty much downpour the first AoE that comes out. On top of that, I also have 2 stacks of Healing Stream Totem, and as soon as I use one, I'm going to Totemic Recall, and that way I keep another stack. That's one of the ways that we can be a lot more mana efficient in this fight, and really keep up with the rot damage that comes out here. You know, anytime we need that healing, we're just going to go and send a Healing Stream Totem. It's okay. So you're going to see those healing absorbs come out, and when they do, I am looking to top these up instantly. That is the biggest damage event in this fight, is those healing absorbs, and so that's what I'm going to be looking to generally commit my cooldowns. So you'll see that first one I end up committing the Tide to it, and so they heal up very, very quickly. And then just for the general rot damage, I have the Ascend rolling for that next one here. Our group is doing pretty good about staying stacked and keeping these ads all kind of where they need to be. They're doing quite good on that here. So now this is, I know these are coming out. You'll see I just Surging Totem and Downpour and then into a Link. Like, we are the safest we've ever been. These next ones coming up are a bit scary. You can see the middle of my screen, I got pretty much no CDs, so we're just going to be kind of healing the best we can here, just doing what we can, hoping that our team is going to be pushing their buttons as well. You see our mage uses his Ice Cold, and then we're just topping up, trying our best to push these health bars up the best we can. This fight is definitely a war of attrition, and using your cooldowns smart is very important. You'll see our DK AMZs here for us, which does help stall. It's really good, but this is by far the dangerous part. We are looking at our CDs. We have nothing really. We're just kind of living on a hope and a prayer, and our mana bar is what we're relying on here. Mage health pots. Mage is very scary in this position. He has pretty much nothing coming up, but look at our CDs. We're sitting 10, 15, 20 seconds and we'll be chilling again. We'll have the Link, the Tide, or not the Link, I'm sorry, the Tide and the Ascend. So I know we just need to live these. That's all. Hunter Turtles, and we know we're good. That's it. So as soon as this comes out, I'm going to chain heal and just top everyone. But now I have my Tide, I have my Ascend, so as long as we're able to essentially kill the boss, we're good. I end up committing the Tide here just to keep us up for the rot. And ultimately, I do have the Ascend here, but I elect to not push it. We're pretty much at the end of the boss, and I figured it's better to just have it up for the ads. It gets a little bit dicey here with these healing absorbs, but we're chilling. Boss is just about to die here, so overall, I'm honestly shocked that we were able to kill this boss as cleanly as we did without the lust. But all is well that ends well, I suppose. So I'm gonna get my drink because I'm just completely tapped. At least a little bit I like to get.
just in case they start pulling insta and I need to go, at least I have something. But I get close and then finish off the rest of my drink. I know the tank can go, and he's free to do so. I'm guessing he sees me, but I figure if he's not gonna go and he's not taking damage, I might as well just get a full drink. So I do, and then we're just going to move up and follow him. I put the wind rush down, and I generally like to stay with the cart. Tank does a okay job of pulling stuff in, just getting us moving here. This whole end area is not really your job as a healer. You're just here dispelling these debuffs. They're very deadly on the tank, and the tank's going to get slaughtered. These corridor creepers absolutely annihilate tanks, so you need to be careful and be ready to top them up. I go back to the cart, and I'm just trying to shimmy it up here as much as I can while we're killing the ads. Tank's gonna pull more mobs onto it, but that's generally just what I'm trying to do, is just stay here with the cart. I will get fire if we need to, but I pretty much already have to on the boss, so I figured I might as well let these guys deal with it while they can. Smile. So, I mean, this is really a tank part of the dungeon. You can have your DPS pull, sometimes boomies will pull for the tank and stuff, so that the cart keeps moving, because there is a way to manipulate this cart so that you basically only have to do 2-ish pulls on it. It's something that is between the tank and the DPS generally, to kind of figure out. We're just here for the ride. We're just enjoying the show, doing the damn that we can, making sure to dispel this tank, and healing him as well. He's really the only target that's going to need healing generally. So our mage gets aggro for a quick second, but he's fine. He hits the invis. And that's that. We're just clearing up these last little ads, and I see the fire is gonna get low, so I'm gonna head over. Anyone see me downpour nothing there? It's perfect. Good play. I do that a lot. I forget that I like either totemic projections on cooldown, or I just don't. I lose track of my healing rate and I just downpour nothing. But enough about me being a stellar player and amazing at this game. We're going to pretty much get into this last boss. He's pulling these guys without the cart, which is kind of big brain, I think. But honestly, I think we did this cart a lot slower than we should. Like I said, there's a way to manipulate it where you get basically just 2 pulls in, and then you're heading over. But you see we have 9 minutes essentially for just this last area of trash and the boss. So we're definitely chilling. I hate picking these things up. And yeah, just throwing stuff at the darkness here. No big deal.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. What are you aiming at? What are you aiming at?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Yeah, so we're going to do this section flawlessly, no problems at all, and I'll touch base with you guys once we get back into the gameplay. Alright folks, and we can finally play the game again. So first thing we're going to do, Windrush Totem. Good button. We're going to drop that. Now this pull is generally pretty scary. It's a couple corridor creepers and they put that nasty dot on your tank, and usually your tank is getting absolutely demolished here, but I don't know what this DH was on. This man is tankier than any tank I really have healed, I think. He doesn't even have meta here. He's just face tanking it. 5 stacks. It's just sitting at fine. 100% health. No problems, really. So, props to this guy. I think he played really, really well, and he's a really, really solid tank to heal. So definitely good to find someone like that just in a PUG scenario. Now coming up to this last boss, first I'm going to look over, I see we have 7.5 minutes, so all that's going through my head is we kill this boss, we time the key, and this boss really is not hard, there's not a lot going on. So you have your candle, and he's going to direct a beam frontal at the candle, which you or someone in your group will need to move. I generally don't move the candle, I'm kind of a piece on this fight. I'm really not super great at this fight, but I am constantly trying my best to bring the fire in to the candle. That is generally what I'm doing. So you'll see here, I actually get targeted with this thing first, and I've basically seen the candle I'm going for. I'm gonna drop my totem and heal myself, and then just heading in with the candlelight. That's the frontal that you'll need to move it. They drop the candle basically on me, and then really the only other mechanic, so to say, is the AoE that he does, which you want your candle to be basically topped 4. It does massive AoE damage. You see here I dropped the link on this one. And you generally want someone to bring a candle in during that as well. Usually I will do that. So even basically during his cast of the AoE, we're also going to bring a candle into that boss, into the candle, so that it basically replenishes in the middle, because if you ever run out of that candle, you get feared. It's hell on earth, basically. So do not recommend. Other than that, this fight is really straightforward. It's really easy. This thing hurts. You generally want a little bit of a defensive for it if you can. And then again, the AoE just absolutely annihilates. You just got to be ready for it. Now this next AoE actually gets pretty dicey. I actually do a little bit of a misplay, so I do go over to get the candle so that I can be ready to put it on our big candle here for this AoE. I'm waiting, and I actually move in too early, and now you're going to see our candle hits. Oh, our candle's at like 10%. I'm running over. I get the thing, so I hit it, I run out, I take the thing. So we get really lucky there. I think our candle actually hit 0% for about a millisecond before I ran the candle in, but it's one of those fights that, like I said, you just got to be on top of it and make sure that you are always keeping that candle topped, because it can very quickly go bad. Okie dokie, my little artichokies. Now, as this boss finishes up and you can see this play out, I wanted to just talk a bit about this channel and what direction it can move. I've really been enjoying making videos and learning. I've been doing little memes, voiceovers on full runs like this. Was even thinking about maybe doing VOD reviews or guides, but most importantly, I want to hear from you guys and what you enjoy. So please feel free to leave a like, sub, and throw a comment down below on what content you want to see moving forward. I'm planning on getting all of my 15s done, and with the corruptions coming out, maybe pushing that to 16s or even higher as well. So definitely going to be pumping out some content, and look forward to seeing some more in the future. Thanks so much, folks. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.